You're watching the SEC on ESPN from the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman. It's a matchup of two teams who have combined to win 3 of the 4 last women's NCAA gymnastics championships. The top-ranked Oklahoma Sooners won back-to-back in 2022 and 23. And prior to the Sooners repeat, it was the Michigan Wolverines who won it all in 2021. Great to be alongside the former Oklahoma national champion Natalie Walker, formerly Brown. These two teams have 2 weeks left in the regular season. Not much time. Where do they stand?
Yeah, Oklahoma is currently ranked #1, and they're #1 for a reason. They have so much consistency, and every routine starts from a 10.0. Head coach KJ Kindler told me that tonight they are working on executing landings. Michigan, they might not be ranked in the top 10, but there's a lot of potential there. Head coach Bev Plotke told me that they have yet to put all events together in one night, so they're hoping to do so here.
Senior night for Oklahoma. 4 gymnasts will be honored, including these two. Audrey Davis and Jordan Bowers, part of 2 national championships and each a 7-time All-American individually. What have they given Oklahoma?
Yeah, you know, they brought so much to this program, but it's not all about accolades to them. They each face some of their own hardships and losses prior to coming to Oklahoma. So I know they're just grateful for the opportunities that they've been given. They've made lifelong friendships and memories. Audrey's actually going to be in Jordan's wedding here soon, so expect an emotional competition here tonight.
And for Michigan, Carly Bauman is one of 4 on this team who were on the 2021 national title team. We're going to see her near perfection against UCLA in just a moment, but what's been her impact on the Wolverines?
Yeah, head coach Bev Plotke said how coachable she is and how her scores make a huge impact to this team. But what's cool about her is that she is not only one of the best on the competition floor, but she's an excellent student as well, currently getting her master's in molecular and cellular developmental biology.
That is difficult to say, much less achieve. But what a gymnast she has been, and excellent in the classroom. Good crowd at the Lloyd Noble Center. It is senior night, as we said, for Oklahoma. Jordan Bowers, Audrey Davis, Danae Fletcher, and Danny Sievers will be honored later on tonight. Lily Peterson will be up first for Oklahoma on vault. We'll see what Lily Peterson has done so far this year.
Coach Kindler talks about how she has one of the best vaults on their team. Oh my goodness, and she starts it off with the stick.
Lily Peterson is ranked number 11 in the all-around. She's done the all-around in every meet as a freshman out of White Lake Bear, Minnesota, and flips gymnastics. Let's look again.
Here's a replay of Lily's vault. Great block off the table, spots the landing, and holds on to that stick. What a great start for Oklahoma.
Over to the Wolverines and Sophie Parenti, who gets things started.
Sophie actually leads off on 3 events. Starts off with a Maloney straight to a packed salto. Great routine so far to lead off the Wolverines. Gets that handstand, just her dismount now. Double layout and holds it for a stick. A great routine to start off for Michigan.
Beth Plotke calls Sophie Parenti just a steady Eddie, as you said, leading off for them in 3 events. That's what you want at the top of the lineup. Faith Torres, one of the all-arounders again for the Sooners tonight. You see a 9.95 for Lily Peterson. And you're about to see the #1 ranked vault in the country these days.
Yeah, she's gained so much confidence and consistency on this event this year. She had a stick streak earlier in the season, so let's see what she does here tonight. She'll also be competing a Yurchenko 1.5. Great block off the table. Pretty big hop forward and a little feet scooches there, but a great vault overall, had great distance. Not the landing that I'm sure she hoped for, but a good vault.
We will see her 3 more times tonight. To Ava Jordan now on the uneven bars. I'm not seeing Sophie Parenti score, but you see the season average for Ava Jordan, 9.82. Sophomore from Indianapolis Cathedral High School. This is a very young team. In fact, both of these teams are super young. You do the calculations. About 39% of Oklahoma's routines being performed by freshmen, and it's even more for the Wolverines, about 45-46% of theirs. Wow.
Just wild. Ava Jordan has been building her confidence and consistency on this event. She actually walked on to the program. Starts off with a straddle Jaeger. Nails that handstand. Right to a shoot over to handstand. Just her dismount now. Pretty big step backwards for her, but that was a great routine on the bar. Just has to focus more on the landings to save some tenths.
You see identical 9.85 for Peterson and Torres on vault for the Sooners. Kira Wells is set to go. Oklahoma, not only the #1 team in NQS, but they are #1 on every event as a team as well. Just an incredible year that they have had.
Head coach KJ Kindler said that Kira's teammates wish that they could vault like Kira because she's so consistent. Big Yurchenko 1.5 right there. She took a pretty big step forward, but great block and distance. So far, these aren't the landings that Oklahoma is hoping for tonight. As I mentioned earlier, they really are trying to hone in on their landings.
Kira Wells was an All-American a season ago on vault for the Sooners. Always asking for feedback, and an athlete who is never discouraged. Sophomore from Augusta, Kansas, will get her score. We see Sophie Parenti with a 9.825 for the Wolverines. We'll get Ava Jordan's score in a moment, but Sophia Diaz is up next. Freshman, Clarksville, Maryland, Hills Gymnastics. She's already won multiple titles this year on the uneven bars. 2 individual event titles for her on the bars.
Yeah, Sophia is a huge asset to this program, and she's only a freshman.
There's so much too, I think, being a freshman. One thing is the grind of competing every single week.
Yes, they're definitely not used to it as freshmen, but she's competing very well week in and week out. She'll start her routine off with a Maloney. Beautiful, straight into a bail to handstand. She has very pretty form. Double layout dismount. Doesn't quite get the stick, has to take a small step backwards, but that was a great routine. Both of these teams just need to calm their nerves down a little bit to get those landings.
Michigan is ranked number 15 on the uneven bars as a team. So we have a lineup change here for the Sooners. It's going to be Addison Feta up next on vault. She's another freshman, Wrightsville, Pennsylvania, Prestige Gymnastics. Her parents, Tony and Jen, own the gym there in Wrightsville.
She had a great vault last week with a career high 9.875, so let's see what she does here. Great block off the table. Another big hop on the landing. Oklahoma is very powerful tonight. They just really need to calm down on their nerves so they can hone in on those landings. But the vault itself off the table was great, and there was great distance as well. Here we go again. Here you go, great block off the table. Just a little over rotated and couldn't quite get her balance.
Mentioned Prestige Gymnastics there in Wrightsville, Pennsylvania. KJ Kindler said she has recruited hard there, but had never gotten an athlete from that gym until now. And they're thrilled to have Addison Feta. Here's JC4. The score so far, 9.825, 9.775 for the Wolverines on the uneven bars. And Sophia Diaz about to come in with hers. JC4, a senior from Fishers, Indiana. Won the uneven bars in their meet with Ohio State.
Nails that first handstand into a toe on. Straddle to Tkachev over the bar. So far, really hitting these handstands. Showing excellent form. Just her dismount now. She'll do a double layout. Almost gets the stick, but has to take a tiny step forward. But on the bar, that was a great routine for JC. Here's that dismount one more time. Almost gets the stick. It almost looked like she didn't need to take a step, but she did anyways. But again, great routine for her.
That Plotkin calls Jason Ford just a solid veteran performer on the beam and the bars as we get over to the Sooners once again, and coming down the ramp is another freshman, Elle Miller.
Got a 9.975 last week versus Auburn. A great ball for her, a small step forward, but that was a good ball. It really did look like last week, except last week she didn't take a step.
Well, she won the event title, as you said, with that 9.975 last week. Consistently been in the vault, bars, floor exercise lineups for KJ Kindler and the Sooners. Oklahoma's scores a couple of 9.95s, a 9.825. We showed you part of this routine a moment ago. Carly Ballman was nearly perfect on the uneven bars against UCLA 2 weeks ago.
She's just beautiful to watch on this event. You'll see later in her routine, but her dismount is a blind landing, but the way she lands is just excellent. Starts off with a straddle Jaeger straight to a shoot over. So far, so good for her. Just her dismount now. Here's that blind landing. Lands so good with her chest up. I don't know how she does it. Just a small hop this time. Here's that dismount again. Watch her chest as she lands. Lands so straight up and down, barely moves her feet. What a great routine for Carly.
Only Halen Zebrowski yet to go for the Wolverines, and in the anchor spot is Jordan Bowers, top 10 on vault, ranked 9th currently.
She has a season high of a 9.95 on this event, so let's see what she's going to do tonight. That was a great vault. Again, Oklahoma didn't get the sticks that they wanted, but that was pretty steady. Just a small step forward and a good start for Jordan. Here's this vault again. A little soft on the block off the table, but still is able to get all the way around, and again, just a small step on the landing.
So we have seen Lily Peterson with the high score for Oklahoma of 9.95 so far. And Halen Zebrowski, the Parkland, Florida native, will be the final competitor, sophomore. He's had some unfortunate injury setbacks, but able to go tonight on the uneven bars.
She typically does a very unique and difficult dismount, so hopefully we'll see it here tonight. Starts off with a straddle Jaeger, a little close to the bar, but is able to make it work. Goes into her packed salto. She's running out of a little juice here because of the way that she caught the bar on her release, but she's making it work. Just her dismount now. Let's see if she does it. And she didn't do it. That's a smart decision. She just did a double layout, but sometimes she'll do a full twisting double layout, and it's pretty cool. But that was a good routine. Here's how she got the bar one more time. Just a little bit close to the bar. Wasn't able to get a lot of momentum. That was Ava competing in the exhibition spot. A good Yurchenko 1.5, just a small step forward.
So Ava Siegfeld there. The exhibition spot will not count toward Oklahoma's final score. I was going to ask you, Halen Zebrowski, at what point as a gymnast do you realize that you better not go for the big dismount as you're going through the routine?
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure if she was gonna do the dismount or planning to, but you could just tell in her routine that she was running out of juice. And as a gymnast, sometimes your coach will tell you, in those situations to make the smartest decision for yourself. So I think that's what she did tonight.
We do not have Zebrowski's score as of yet. Oklahoma's vault score of 49.325. Again, the Sooners coming in as the #1 team in the country on the vault, and that is below their season average by about 1/10 of a point.
Yeah, they didn't have the best vault rotation, didn't get as many landings, only 1 out of 6. So hopefully they'll get more landings here tonight as the competition goes on. Exhibition routine, big double layout off the bar, just a small step forward.
Well, that will do it for the opening rotation. Oklahoma going to have a lead, it looks like, of a little over 2/10 of a point. Not unexpected, but the Sooners a tad bit below their season average on vault. Wolverines 49.150. And KJ Kindler's team will be moving on to rotation at #2. We will total up the scores and give you an SEC update when we come back to the Lloyd Noble Center. Oklahoma, hyper-talented, ranked #1 and bringing 6 national championships to the mighty SEC in gymnastics.
Oklahoma is coming in and they're so good and they have a great reputation, and everyone knows Oklahoma's great reputation.
Oklahoma is a great team. They're competitive and it just really ups that competitive level for everyone.
Whoa, Oklahoma's coming, like we gotta be on our A game. Like I think they just bring that good pressure to the SEC, which is really good for us.
It puts them to the test being against the best conference in the nation, and it puts everybody else to the test. So I'm excited to see how it plays out.
They just bring a higher level of perfection to everything that they do in their gymnastics, and so I think that's something that all of us can rise to the challenge.
It just inspires each one of us to work harder, to do more, to be the best we can be, and elevate our game as well.
I mean, Oklahoma brings an incredible amount of competitiveness, experience, and I think ultimately it just continues to help us become the top women's sport in the country.
I feel like anytime we can get a great team that joins our conference, that elevates everybody around us.
I think it's just honestly going to push us to work even harder and be better.
Have their own type of team goals, their own things that they're going to just accomplish, and they just devour everybody.
Here are the SEC standings based on NQS. Oklahoma and LSU, those two teams met a little earlier this season down in Baton Rouge. The defending champion Tigers were able to win that one. Then Florida, Missouri, and Kentucky. The top 8 will be invited to the SEC championship. And still yet to be determined exactly who those 8 will be, though you know Oklahoma's spot is going to be secure. 9 of the top 16 in the country reside in the SEC. Rotation #2 is next from Norman. Back with you inside the Lloyd Noble Center. It is Oklahoma with the lead over Michigan after rotation #1. You've got senior night for the Sooners. They will have those ceremonies following the competition. And Natalie, as you evaluate the performance of these two teams on the opening rotation, where do you feel like Oklahoma was? Quite a few steps forward.
Yeah, I think it was a little shaky of a start for Oklahoma. They started off with a huge score from Lily Peterson, that big Yurchenko 1.5. But the vaults that followed had big hops or little steps here and there. So hopefully they zone in more on their landings.
Ava Jordan starts things off on vault for the Wolverines.
She opened with a Yurchenko full, didn't quite get the block off the table that she needed in order to complete that skill successfully, and fell to her knees. Here's another look at her vault. See that block off the table, she missed it, landed under-rotated and had to fall to her knees. Could have been a bad landing, so I'm glad she's okay.
And we'll see. Wolverines must hope that's the only miscue they have, and they'll be able to overcome that. Here's Danny Sievers for the Sooners to get things started. The senior from Gary, South Dakota. Fiery leader in the lineup on the uneven bars.
She's so consistent for Oklahoma on this event, and I always say it's almost like watching her on replay. Starts off with a Maloney to a Pack Salto. A little iffy right there on that pirouette, but is able to get it around. Gets that last handstand and just headed into her dismount now. And gets the stick for Oklahoma. A great leadoff for the Sooners on bars.
Couldn't ask for much more than that one.
Here's her opening release, the Maloney right into Pack Salto, just beautiful. Maloney. Here's her dismount, full twisting double back, and great stick from her. Like I said, watching her routine on repeat.
Here's Peyton Davis going down the vault ramp for the Wolverines.
She also does a Yurchenko full. That was a great vault coming after that first one. Just a small step back, or a small hop backwards, excuse me.
Bev Plotke calls her a workhorse. Very focused athlete, cares deeply. She's out of West Chester, Pennsylvania. First state gymnastics. You see that follows Ava Jordan's 9.125 with the fall. Back to Oklahoma for Lily Peterson. Danny Sievers started with a 9.925 for Oklahoma.
You'll notice on Lily's routine, she's very clean throughout. She'll also start off her routine with a Maloney to the high bar, straight into a Pack Salto. Very uncharacteristic move from her. Got caught on her pirouette and had to fall off the bar.
Here's Sooner assistant coach Lou Ball there, counseling her a bit.
Not something you'd expect from her, but again, she's just a freshman, so mistakes like this are going to happen, and better to happen now than in the postseason.
Crowd giving her encouragement as she restarts.
There's that pirouette that she meant to do right after her Pack Salto. Now just her dismount. See how she finishes her routine. Beautiful double layout, just a small step backward. I know she's not happy with that, but these things happen, and she's going to learn a lot from this moment.
Lily Peterson has been an all-arounder in every meet as a freshman for Oklahoma.
Here's that fall again. You know, she just gets caught on the bar and isn't able to make a correction in time. I bet she never does it again.
Here is Kaylee Boozer from Texarkana, Texas for the Wolverines.
Kaylee will also be competing a Yurchenko full, which starts from a 9.95. And that was an amazing vault, really nailed into the ground.
She just made her vault debut last week and really helped pull the Wolverines together.
Here's that vault again. Great block off the table and just nails that landing. Here's another angle. Beautiful in the air as well. Wow, I'm interested to see what the judges give that.
You know, she's won 3 beam titles this year. We'll see her there. Didn't compete as a freshman, and you know, that adjustment coming from Texarkana, Texas to Ann Arbor, Michigan, and has found her way into 2 lineups as a sophomore for the Wolverines. Here's Addison Feta. We'll get Lily Peterson's score in a moment. Danny Sievers had a 9.925, as you see, to start for the Sooners. Addison Feta is ranked in the top 20 on this rotation.
This is a key moment for Addison to see how she does under pressure. There haven't been many moments like this so far this season, so this is a good learning moment for her and the rest of her team. Addison opens her routine with a church, which is a toe on pike to Kachiv, straight into a packed salto. Great routine so far, really going for it. That's what you want to see after a mistake in the lineup. Just her dismount now, beautiful double out, and a small hop backwards, but I know she's proud of herself for that routine following a fall. Great job.
Like nothing ever happened.
Exactly, just keep on moving. Here's that dismount again, and watch her face when she lands. She's just so ecstatic that she was able to do that and really make up for her team right there.
That, as the night unfolds, could be a very important routine in the grand scheme of things, Can't it?
Very important.
Jasara Ranger, the freshman from Coconut Creek, Florida.
She does a Yurchenko 1.5, and as you can tell, she had a lot of power coming off that table and wasn't quite able to control it, so she had to take a big step forward, but that was a great vault in the air.
Beth Plotke said this freshman has wow skills on the vault and the floor exercise. Well, we will see her a little later on. She's already won multiple individual event titles as a freshman. Been the Big Ten Freshman of the Week twice. To Faith Torres for Oklahoma on the uneven bars now. Faith Torres, ranked number 7 nationally on the bars. She is in the top 10 on all 4 rotations and the all-around.
Faith opens her routine with a big ray. I love how she went for it. That's what you have to do in moments like this. Hack salto was a little bit close to the bar, but she was able to make it work. Just her dismount now, really hitting those handstands. Let's see if she gets the stick. Doesn't quite get the landing she hoped for. A small hop step backwards, but again, great routines following that mistake in the lineup earlier for Oklahoma.
It was a small hop. Did the judges see it? Come on. It was tiny.
I think they might have seen it.
Oklahoma's only 10 this season was from Faith Torres on the uneven bars in the final routine that was against Florida. So Oklahoma has 88 perfect 10s as a program. They had 14 last year, only 1 this season. And it's not the gymnastics. It is still top quality. Down the vault ramp, Jenna Mulligan, the stick.
Wow, Yurchenko 1.5 and holds it for that landing. Wow, Michigan is really working on their landings here. So far, I believe they have 2 out of 5. Here's that vault again. A little leg separation coming off the table, but she almost seems surprised to have landed and not moved.
5th year. She didn't compete in 2021, Mulligan, but she was on that national championship team. Now Audrey Davis for the Sooners.
She is by far the best bar worker in the country and has done so much for this program on this event, despite the scores that she might receive. I know she's really hoping to get a 10 here tonight, one last time in the Lloyd Noble Center. Here's her dismount. And holds it for the stick. Wow. What a great routine for Audrey Davis. Her final one in the Lloyd Noble Center.
The reigning beam national champion, showing you exactly why.
That routine was beautiful. Here's that dismount again. Double front half. Really turns it around for that stick. I'm not sure what the judges will do, but to a lot of people, a lot of fans and her coaches, she's perfection almost every time.
Come on, give the 10. Give the 10. Sophia Diaz.
She also does a Yurchenko 1.5, just a small hop forward, but that was a great vault. Michigan is really honing in on their landings later in lineup.
Sophia Diaz has won 3 individual event titles on vault this year as a freshman out of Clarksville, Maryland. As a freshman anchoring the vault lineup. That's big time. And here is Jordan Bowers. Last up for the Sooners in the regular lineup. She's had a perfect 10 in her career on the uneven bars. She is ranked number 4 nationally this week on this rotation.
I've been talking about landings all night, but Coach Kindler said that she's really been working on her dismount on bars. Beautiful start to her routine. Opens up with a piked Jaeger into a packed salto. Just her dismount now. Let's see if she gets that stick. This is her final routine in the Lloyd Noble Center. Let's see if she goes out with the bang. And she gets that stick. Wow, what a great routine for her. All 3 seniors in this lineup got a stuck dismount.
The Sooners rebound in big-time fashion after the early slip. And this caps it.
What a great recovery for all of them. Here's that release again, the piked Jaeger. And here's that dismount. Was able to find her landing and get that stick for her team. What a great finish for Oklahoma after that mistake earlier in lineup.
Chalk flying. We'll see if a 10 flies. Audrey Davis's score was a 9.975, and a huge hug from KJ Kindler, just appreciating this athlete.
So close.
The Boo Birds are out. Now listen, there's a change in collegiate gymnastics. Judges are being judged as well these days.
Yeah,
they are
for sure.
highly scrutinized, and perhaps that's had some impact on the scoring this year, Natalie.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've watched a lot of competition so far this season, and sometimes there will be a perfect routine and it'll get a 9-9, and you'll see another routine with a pretty big wobble and it'll get almost the exact same score. So I think fans are a little bit confused. I'm a little bit confused, but it's a subjective sport. So what can you do but your routine, and then that's it.
This will be an exhibition from Caitlin Smith, a sophomore from Houston, world champion center. Had a lot of injuries in her career, so good to see her out there.
She's finally getting that exhibition experience that every gymnast needs. Opens up with a Maloney to a packed salto. Very beautiful. Just has a dismount left. Really hitting those handstands, and you can see her team in the background just so ecstatic for her. Double layout, a little over-rotated. Had to take a pretty big step backwards, but that was a great routine for her, and you can see the smiles on her teammates' faces. They're proud of her.
Oklahoma increasing the lead after 2 rotations on Military Appreciation Night. We'll show you why it's extra special for one Sooner.
My name is Aspen Lenster, and I'm a cadet here at the University of Oklahoma's Detachment 675. I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I chose OU for multiple different reasons. One being that I'm on the Oklahoma women's gymnastics team, so that kind of is what brought me here. I got recruited my senior year, and I decided to come here, which is kind of a long way from home. However, I was approached by Captain Moore about the ROTC program, and I thought it would be super interesting. When Captain Moore approached me, he kind of brought up topics of what this would entail, and I always have wanted to join the military since I've had members of my family, grandparents, and other family members be in the branches of the military. However, nobody's been in the Air Force, so I thought it'd be really cool to be the first in my bloodline to join the Air Force. When I came to Oklahoma, I knew that it was just home and that my gymnastics would excel here. And that's definitely been what's happened. Just compared from freshman year to this year, I've gotten so much better, and my coaching staff is just incredible. They've helped me in so many ways, and they are such big fans of me doing ROTC, and they're super proud of me, and they're super impressed with it. And I just think that's super cool because they'll do everything they can to make sure I succeed in ROTC and gymnastics. And then similar to that, for ROTC, the cadre members have been amazing, and they've helped me succeed in both gymnastics and ROTC. When I first joined the program, I never really thought I would stay within it. However, the more I became involved with the program, the more I started to love it. And like I mentioned before, I always have wanted to join the military. I just never kind of saw my life going that path. I'm super grateful for this opportunity, and I love being a part of Det 675.
Her day begins at 4:30 in the morning and ends well after sundown. Aspen Lynchner on Military Appreciation Night. Natalie, can you imagine how she manages to do everything in a day?
Yeah, no, I cannot. It's pretty unreal how she's able to do both. I mean, I was having trouble managing what I had going on, and I did not have to wake up at 4 a.m. So, yeah, Coach Kindler said she's unsure if she's had anyone who's done something like this before for her program. But I will say Aspen has been so crucial to this team. You know, might not have been in the lineup so far, but she did get to exhibition at the Metroplex meet earlier this season, and you could just tell her teammates love her by the joy of how they celebrated after she finished.
And we thank the Oklahoma, the University Air Force ROTC for providing us with that video and helping us tell the great story of this very talented Sooner. Oklahoma leads by a little over 0.6 of a point. Rotation number 3 when we return. Well, Oklahoma rebounding with a score of 49-65 on the uneven bars, which was above their season average and slightly off their season high. Once again, the Sooners are ranked number 1 on each rotation. The score that the Sooners had on vault was below their season average. Then they had the fall on the uneven bars, but they were able to recover and rebound. And when you look back on the grand scheme of the night, it was really that routine that we saw in the number 3 spot from Addison Feta that may wind up being a critical element to this evening.
Yes, the routine that follows the mistake and lineup is the most crucial because they're going to reset the tone for the rest of the team. And she's just a freshman, so who knew what she was going to do, but she was clutch in that moment for the Sooners.
Sooner head coach KJ Kindler, the 18th year head coach of the Sooners, and number 19, I should say. Maybe it brings another national title. They have won 6. They've gone back-to-back twice, 2016 and 17. And again in 2022 and 23, the 3-time National Coach of the Year. Just lauding this group of seniors this week, Natalie. The first time nobody can come back. Just all remarkable young ladies. And they're all different, but they lead the program in their own way.
They really do. And, you know, last year's finish has inspired them too. So I know they're all coming back with vengeance this year to end the way that they want to.
Audrey Davis leading things off on the balance beam. Reigning national champion on the beam.
Coach Kindler doesn't only put her best at the end of the lineup. Like Chad said, she is the reigning co-national champion on this event. And she leads off. Opens up with a back handspring layout, had a tiny little bobble, but was able to hide it pretty well. The judges have a different angle than we do. She's so beautiful to watch on this event. Beautiful beat jump to a split ring. Just her dismount now. Oklahoma's working on their landings. Let's see what she does. And gets that landing. What a great lead off for Oklahoma to get that momentum going on the balance beam.
She's having quite a senior night. Audrey Davis, KJ Kindler says everybody loves her, really leads with her faith.
Here's that dismount again. Beautiful landing. What a start for Oklahoma on beam.
Reigning national champion on beam, and you think about how well she scores. Oftentimes there's the thought that in the leadoff position you don't score as high as you were just talking about. Oklahoma, they do not build their lineup that way.
No, and the judges should not give scores that way either. It should be based off of execution and performance.
Here is Sophie Parenti, the freshman from Los Altos, California.
Another event that Sophie leads off on, and she's just a freshman, so that's a big deal. She'll open up her routine with a double pike. Takes a small step forward. which means it was under-rotated a little, so the judges might take some deduction right there. Coach Bev Plotke was saying to me earlier this week that she might not have the wow skills, but she is so steady leading off on the events that she competes. Just her last pass now. One and a half to a front full. Great routine for Sophie to lead off the Wolverines on floor. And let's see if her teammates can follow.
Just what you want in the leadoff spot there. She's actually the 3rd highest contributor toward points for the Wolverines this year. And she gets them started in very good fashion. Audrey Davis's score on beam for Oklahoma was a 9-9 in the leadoff position. And now once again we see Addison Feta. She is ranked number 18 nationally on the balance beam.
She has impressed Coach Kindler so much with her performance so far this season on beam. She exudes so much confidence and moves so well on the balance beam. It was actually one of the events that she was unsure she'd be competing, but here she is. Addison will start her routine off with a back handspring layout series. Holds onto that landing. You just see the confidence on her face. Beautiful side aerial. She's able to adjust her landings, which is very impressive. Hitch kick to a switch side. Really focused. You can see it in her eyes. For her leaps connection, switch leap to a split jump. So far, very beautiful routine so far for Addison. Just her dismount left. Let's see how her landing goes. And she gets the stick. Beautiful back handspring gainer full. And another great routine for Oklahoma.
Well, her season and career high is 9.90 on the balance beam. We'll see if Addison Feta bettered it with this excellent routine.
Here's that series again, back handspring layout. You can see her foot adjusting. And here is that dismount again, back handspring gainer full. You mentioned her career high is a 9.9. I'm thinking this might go a little bit higher than that.
Hard to find much, if any, fault with that one. As Peyton Davis will be up next for the Wolverines.
Another freshman starting off their lineup. They actually have 3 freshmen in a row. Half of their floor lineup is made up of freshmen. Opens up with a front layout to a Rudy, which is a 1.5 twist. She's actually been battling for a beam spot, so we might see her in the beam lineup later tonight. And she's working on a new dismount on bars, so hopefully later in the season we'll see that as well. Just her last pass ends with a double pike. Great landing, very controlled.
I like the finish.
Routine, yes. very great landings that she had.
High fives from teammates for Peyton Davis after Sophie Parenti's 9.80. We'll see how Lily Peterson responds here on the beam after the slip that she had on the uneven bars.
And I just want to mention, Lily has been sick all week, so that could have added to her energy level competing on bars.
She is ranked in the top 10 on the balance beam.
She actually didn't even get a chance to practice until, I'm pretty sure, Thursday. So the way that she's been able to just step back into the lineup despite that is very impressive. She's a very strong, quick competitor on this event. Opens up with a back handspring layout. A little off, was able to stay on the beam. You know, she's really fighting through a lot right now, but this is a learning moment for her. Switch leap. Switch side. She moves so quickly throughout her routine. It's very impressive. Into routine with a round off double full. Almost gets that stick, but has to take a small step backwards.
Lily Peterson growing up there in Minnesota. Gets herself back on track. Just a slight bobble. I think the crowd helped her stay on the beam.
For sure. Here's that series again. You know, she's a little off. Lifted up her chest a little fast, but was able to stay on the beam.
KJ Kindler's sister Lori was Lily Peterson's club coach, and she grew up a huge fan of the Oklahoma Sooners and the great Maggie Nichols as well. Sophia Diaz now on the floor exercise. Peyton Davis just scored a 9.85 for the Wolverines.
She's so beautiful on this event. Shows a lot of artistry. Opens up with a front double full. That's an E skill, which is the highest difficulty a skill can have. I believe we'll get to see her exhibition beam later on. She's trying to break into that lineup as well, but doing so great, and it's just her freshman year. Here's her last pass, which I love. A Rudy to a back layout step out. So beautiful. And another great routine for the Wolverines on floor to keep things going.
Sophia Diaz has won an individual event title this season on floor exercise. Peyton Davis's score, by the way, equaled her season and career high. And Addison Feta has a new career high for Oklahoma on the beam, the 9.925. It'll be Jordan Bowers next. She needs a 10 in her career to get the gym slam. Let's see if it can happen for her tonight.
Yeah, and you know, having to go after a mistake in the lineup, and although it wasn't a fall, it still was a big loss of tenths. She might compete the best she ever does, because sometimes competing under pressure creates the best routines. Jordan just needs to focus on what she does every day in practice. Her final one in the Lloyd Noble Center. Starts off with a back handspring layout. Beautifully done. can see the smirk on her face when she finished that skill. Split leap to a switch half. Perfect landing. So far, this routine is pretty great. Coach Kindler says she's one of the most consistent beam workers on the team. All right, just her dismount now. Let's see how she lands. Round off double full. Holds on for the stick. Fights to not put her chest down on that landing, but that was an excellent routine to close out her career here in the Lloyd Noble Center on balance beam. Here's that series again from a different angle. Back handspring layout, beautifully done. And here is that dismount. Gets the stick, fights to keep her chest up. I know she's proud of that routine.
KJ Kindler said so amazing to be training to be an all-arounder and compete in so many events. She said it's taxing on an athlete's body, but with Jordan Bowers, you wouldn't know it. Kaylee Boozer now.
It looks like one judge gave Jordan a 10 and the other a 9.95, so she'll get a
This is Audrey Sanger for the Wolverines.
double pike, able to hold onto that landing. Beautiful leads connection. Just her last pass now. And round up 1.5 front layout. Done it so well. This Michigan lineup is really getting things going on the floor and carrying the momentum throughout the lineup. Excellent routine for Audrey.
Oakland, California native, Pacific West Gymnastics. Gymnast Beth Plotke says it's just elegant. She's been in and out of the floor and vault routines. Jordan Bowers tied her career high on the beam with a 9.975. And there's the career high we spoke of for Addison Feta in the #2 position for the Sooners.
She should be so proud of herself. You know, she's really been so clutch tonight, and I knew that routine would go over.
Ava Siegfeld, the junior from Williamsburg, Virginia, next up.
Ava has been perfection on this event before. This is her first time in the lineup this season. Starts off with a front aerial to a split jump. She's been exhibitioning for this team and has earned her way into the lineup this week. Back handspring layout. Holds onto that landing again. Those judges, they have a different view than us, so you see her go a little bit to the right, but one judge might not see that. Beautiful beat jump to a split ring. So far, this routine is gorgeous and so clutch for what happened earlier in the lineup. They're really wanting to drop that 9.65 from Lily. Great dismount, doesn't quite get that stick, but what a great routine for her to go in the lineup after that mistake earlier and nail a routine for her team.
Had a perfect 10, as you said, on the beam last year. Mainly been a beam specialist. She's also been in the vault lineup on occasion for KJ Kindler. Ava Siegfeld with one more routine left. It'll come from Faith Torres for Oklahoma. Carly Baumann now. Floor exercise. She is in the top 5 in the Big Ten on the floor exercise and ranked 16th nationally.
Very intense with her movements. Something you like to see. A good performance. Carly opens up with a front double full. Dances her way out. Very fluid. Beautiful leap connection. You want to see 180-degree split. Her last pass now, run off 1.5, front layout, and sticks it cold. See her smile on her face. She knows that was a great routine. The Michigan Wolverines are really putting it together over there on the floor.
Her career high is a 9.925 on the floor exercise. That was about as good as you could get. An athlete that Bev Plotke calls the dictionary definition of a coachable athlete. And as Natalie said earlier, she is getting her graduate degree in molecular cellular developmental biology.
So impressive. I can barely say it, let alone definitely couldn't do it.
Now Faith Torres, last competitor in the regular lineup for the Sooners. We will see a couple of exhibitions, we believe.
She is also the 2024 NCAA co-beam champion. Starts off her routine with a wolf jump. She really is so beautiful to watch on this event. Perfect series, side aerial to a back layout. Very difficult. Beautiful switch leap to a straddle jump. Just her dismount now. Back handspring gainer full. Gets that stick. Oh my gosh. That was a great routine for Faith Torres. I'm interested to see what the judges do with that.
Looked pretty perfect. She's ranked number 2 on the beam coming into the week. As Natalie said, the co-champion with her teammate Audrey Davis nationally on beam a season ago.
Here's that dismount again. Perfect landing. She even says something when she lands. I kind of want to know what she said.
I think it was, I nailed that. With as important as she has been in her Sooner career, it feels like it would be her senior night. She's a sophomore.
I know.
And you sometimes lose track of just how youthful she still is.
I mean, I can't believe any of these gymnasts are seniors.
And speaking of youth, Gisara Ranger, just a freshman, newcomer, and she's been a star, says Bev Plotke. Here she is on the floor exercise.
A star she is. She's going to open her routine with a huge double layout. And as you saw from her on vault, she has a lot of power. Here's that opening pass. Big double layout, secures that landing. Beautiful lead connection there as she prepares for her final pass. Dancing with her teammates. Always fun to see. Just her last pass to finish up floor for the Wolverines. Tucked through to a double back, and she stuck that cold. They have some glue on their feet over there on the floor. Wow, what a routine.
High-level stuff in the anchor spot from the freshman Jazara Ranger.
Front layout through to a double back and sticks it cold. What a performance.
Carly Ballman had a 9-9 prior to that routine. Just got Faith Torres' score for Oklahoma. 9.975 on beam. She and Jordan Bowers with identical 9.975s for the Sooners. And now we'll see Kira Wells with an exhibition on the balance beam.
Kira Wells is typically in the lineup for the Sooners. But tonight there was a lineup change. Still good for her to go out and get some experience. She does a very unique skill, switch foot, side aerial. It's actually an E-level acro skill, which most people do not do. Beautiful switch leap, switch leap. Even though this is an exhibition routine, this routine still matters to her team to know what she's capable of. Beautiful back handspring layout series. Coach Kindler says she's one of their most consistent beam workers, and she just needs to translate it more over into competition. Tonight, she is doing that. Here's that dismount. Round off 1.5, doesn't quite get that landing, but that was a great routine for her.
So Oklahoma's beam score is final. That is just an exhibition there, but their beam score tonight, very good. 49.575 is quite a bit above. In fact, nearly a tenth of a point better than their season average, and they are #1 in the country on beam. It is slightly off of their season high. This is Jenna Mulligan with an exhibition on floor exercise for the Wolverines.
This is also an important routine for Michigan to really see the depth that they have as we get later into the season. Opens up with a double back. A little off on those leaps. You really want to see 180-degree split. It almost looks like she didn't get her leg up in time while she was spinning. Just her last pass now. Double pike. Was a little soft on her arms in that back handspring. I'm glad that she was able to get a good block off her feet into that double pike. A good routine for Jenna. Obviously, she had that mistake on her leap series, but her tumbling was great.
That will not count, obviously, in Michigan's team total, but the Wolverines, you see their score 49.4. Very good. In fact, it matches their season high. Oklahoma's beam final score of 49.575 is above their season average, but off of their season high. So good night for both teams so far on rotation number 3. Final exhibition here comes from Caitlin Smith.
I have yet to see her exhibition beam this year, so this is very exciting. Oklahoma is just showcasing the depth that they have. Beautiful side aerial to a back handspring. Not the easiest of series to do. Switch leap split. Nicely done. You know, Coach Kindler said a lot of people get the wrong impression that because Oklahoma has so many all-arounders that they don't have any depth, but here's the depth. Early on in the season, they weren't able to exhibition as much, so it's really crucial and important that they're getting to do so now, right before postseason. Just your dismount now. Gainer full off the front of the beam, gets that landing, and you can see her team so excited for her. That just gives her a ton of confidence going forward if she's ever needed to be put in that lineup.
Well, it is senior night for the Oklahoma Sooners. What a senior class. Jordan Bowers, Audrey Davis, Danae Fletcher, and Danny Sievers. We'll talk more about them when we return.
If you could leave one message to the OU gymnastics program, what would it be?
I would just say thank you for everything. You took in this girl when I was so little, and I will forever remember every single person that has been on this journey with me, and every coach that has pushed me to be greater than I ever thought I could be, and just forever grateful for everything OU has given me.
I would also say thank you. I committed to OU like really late, and I would say just thank you for taking a chance on me. And I've always dreamed of coming to OU and winning a national championship and just being on the Oklahoma team. I wanted to be coached by the greatest, and they took a chance from a kid from small town South Dakota, and I wouldn't be the person I am without this program, without my coaches, my teammates.
I think that words can't describe how grateful I am, and having the opportunity to come back for a 5th year and be here with you guys it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. And the family that I've created, the coaches, being there and being my family, you know, I have people that I can always rely on for the rest of my life.
I owe my whole life to this coaching staff. Growing up, like being the first one to graduate from my family and like knowing everything that my mom went through, I don't know what I would be doing right now if I didn't have these coaches. I don't know what I would be doing right now if I didn't have you guys. Like, actually, I don't know. I just don't know, like, the person that I would be. Like, after my dad passed, I didn't think that I would be able to do anything. I didn't think that I was good enough for anything or be able to go to college or be able to do anything. This coaching staff and this team really believed in me. She knew, she saw something in me, and I've never had that in my whole life. My whole life I've always had people doubting me, and to know that someone didn't doubt me, that's just something that I am so grateful for and still am grateful for.
What a class. 2 NCAA titles, 3 Big 12 titles. They've got 44 straight home wins. There's Danae Fletcher, who has been such a good gymnast but battled injuries in her Sooner career, talking about her late father, David. You know he would be super proud of this moment in this senior class with 138 wins, 18 All-American honors. We have seen 3 of the 4 in various rotations tonight. But what a class this has been, Natalie, for KJ Kindler.
Yeah, and it's just so special. I mean, you saw in that video the impact that this program still makes on the gymnasts that are a part of it. And there really is something special about Oklahoma. And it starts with the coaches. You know, when they recruit, they almost have more belief in you than you ever had. And they mold you into a better gymnast, but also a better person. And I'm just so happy for all 4 of these girls. They've added so much value to this program, not only in the gym, but outside of it. And you can really see how much they've grown in the last 4 to 5 years. So I'm going to be sad not seeing them on the competition floor in the LNC.
They will try for their first ever SEC championship in Birmingham and potentially a national championship. Oklahoma with wins over 2nd-ranked LSU, 4th-ranked Utah, 5th-ranked Florida, 6th-ranked Cal, 10th-ranked Alabama, 10th-ranked Missouri. Lone loss was in a rematch on the road in Baton Rouge against the defending national champion LSU. To the beam, Sophie Parenti in the leadoff spot. Well, she is so good and consistent to go in the leadoff spot on 3 rotations for this team, Natalie.
So impressive. Starts off with a back handspring layout. A little off on that landing, but is able to save it. Not a big wobble. Just getting some nerves out. Beautiful switch leap to a split jump. You know, it's super impressive to lead off as a freshman, but to lead off on the balance beam as a freshman is the most impressive in my opinion. Beautiful front aerial to a split. Just her dismount, but so far this routine has been pretty steady. Let's see what she does with this landing. Round off 1.5. Doesn't quite get the stick. Has to take a small step backwards, which is under rotated. That will be a little deduction. But a good start off for beam for Michigan.
Sophie Parenti's parents were Canadian Olympians. Her mom, Paige, was a diver, and her dad, Eddie, was a swimmer. Athletic genes certainly in the family as Audrey Davis prepares for her final 4-exercise routine at the Lloyd Noble Center.
I'm gonna try and not get emotional, but
how can you not?
I wonder what's going through her head right now. I hope she just performs her heart out. She'll start off with a front double full. Beautiful. I actually had the chance to talk to Coach Kindler about these floor routines. Oklahoma always brings it with the music and the dance. Coach Kindler said that this is a swing piece. She says it matches Audrey's giddy personality, and she performs it very well. Her final routine in the Lloyd Noble Center. One more pass. 1.5 front full. Just excellent. You can see the smile from head coach KJ Kindler in the background. I hope Audrey is really taking in this moment, looking around at the crowd and her teammates and her coaches, and appreciating all of the moments that she's had in here. Excellent routine for Oklahoma, and the last one of Audrey Davis in the Lloyd Noble Center.
What a celebration with her teammates. She's already tonight shared the bars title with Jordan Bowers.
Here's that last pass again. Beautiful 1.5 to a front full. See the dab at the end. That's the way to close it out.
Agreed. Well-deserved opportunity. Kaylee Boozer now for the Wolverines after Sophie Parenti led off with a 9.825.
She's quite beautiful on this event. Cat leap front aerial. Very steady. Beautiful switch leap to a switch split. A little wobble, nothing huge. Steps right into her series. Back handspring layout, done so well. Moving so smooth across the beam. Just her dismount now. Back back handspring gainer full. Almost gets the stick. Got a little bit over-rotated, so had to take a step back, but that was a great, solid routine for Kaylee.
You were talking earlier about Michigan and Coach Plotke wanting to put everything together. They have a chance at a season-high score tonight. In fact, it's really attainable, right around their season average. If they can do that on the beam, they'll have a season-high score overall.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. They really just need to do what they do in practice and hone in on those landings.
One of the 4 seniors, Dani Severs now.
This is her first time competing on floor this season. So exciting, especially since it's senior night.
Now, she has been a past All-American on floor exercise.
Beautiful opening pass, double pike. I'm just so happy for her right now, getting to compete one last time on this event. You know, she's been such a solid competitor on this event for Oklahoma throughout her years. Ends her career right there with that double back. Now it's just time to have some fun. Finish up with her dance. Coach Kindler says this routine matches her personality to a T, and she says it gives off spicy.
Agreed.
I love the unique choreography and getting to see this for the first time. Hopefully we'll get to see it more later down the road. And the wink at the end. What a routine to close out her career in the Lloyd Noble Center. The teammates are excited.
She was the Big 12 vault champion 2 years ago. She's been an All-American 3 times between the floor exercise and the bars. And she did compete the floor exercise in the NCAA championships for the Sooners last year in the lineup on senior night.
Here's that first pass again. Pay attention to her teammates. Just so ecstatic. Blowing kisses. Pure excitement. Big hugs from head coach KJ Kindler.
She's been awarded a score of 9.925 as Dani Severs for that routine. Audrey Davis had a 9.925.
Not a bad score to start off.
She saw a Ranger.
Starts off with a back handspring layout, a little off on that landing, but was able to hold it. Switch split jump. Beautiful front toss. She's moving so quick throughout her routine, making it look very easy. Just her dismount now, she does a huge round off double back. And not a bad landing, just a small hop backwards, but that was a great routine. She had a little wobble at the beginning and that small hop backwards, but here's that dismount again. Huge round off double tuck. Not a lot of gymnasts will do that because it's so difficult. So it really shows her confidence and guts.
Back to the Sooners. Elle Miller next on floor exercise.
Elle is so beautiful to watch on this event. And in my opinion, she's just getting better and better. Opens up with a front through to a double back. Great landing for her. You can see her finish was nice and slow, really dramatic, and it matches her music and her dance. Her performance level and eye contact is just A+. Last pass now, front layout to a Rudy. Excellent landing. I love how slow she raises her head after each pass. Beautiful leaps. This is such a great routine for her. And the last one at home this season. She's improved so much. And this should give her so much confidence heading in to their final regular season meet and then postseason quick to follow. Excellent routine. Oklahoma is really dialed in right now on these floor routines.
Floor exercise for Elle Miller, music from Suicide Squad. And KJ Kindler said she has shown real growth. Those scores that were 9.825s early in the season are now 9.9s and 9.925s. We'll see what this one was. We have seen a 9.925 from Sievers, a 9.9 from Audrey Davis. Elle Miller scored coming up. A good beam session going here for the Wolverines. It continues with Jenna Mulligan.
Yes, it is. Like I said, on floor, OU's pretty dialed in, but Michigan's dialed in on beam too. A lot of confidence in their face as they compete. Beautiful front aerial back handspring. Feet jump to a straddle half. Being very steady. Nice side aerial. You can see Coach Miley Kneva Hermelin in the corner. Great dismount. A little step backwards that will be a deduction. There's Coach Miley. Was actually one of my teammates when I was a part of the Sooner program. An excellent gymnast, but she knows her stuff too. I would want her as my coach.
There is the former Sooner. Addison Feta now. She's competing, one of the three Sooners in the all-around tonight.
Had a little trouble last week, actually went out of bounds on her first pass. So let's see what she does tonight. Beautiful front double full. No trouble this week. Coach KJ uses the word slinkity when describing Addison's movements. She's really able to move her body so well. Just her last pass, front through to a 2.5. Great landing. It's a floor party over there. Such a great performer. You know, she's had such a great night. A clutch performance on bars, clutch performance on beam, and ending it so well here tonight. And she's just a freshman. But this will do it for her final routine in the LNC for her freshman year.
And quite a way to go out for Addison Feta. Teammates helping her celebrate. One more look at the final pass.
Here's that last pass again. Front through to a 2.5. Spots that landing so sharp. awesome routine.
JC4 set to go for Michigan on the balance beam.
Beautiful back handspring layout. I know Michigan is wanting to end their competition the best way possible. Great front toss. Looks very confident. Pretty leap connection, straddle, straddle, half. All that's left is her dismount. I'm really hoping she gets a stick because this routine has been pretty good. Round off 1.5. Doesn't quite get that stick. Little under rotated, has to take a small step backwards, but these are great beam routines for Michigan so far. They really are putting all of their gymnastics together tonight.
One more routine to go. The Wolverines have a chance at their season high of 197.1. And now Jordan Bowers for the Sooners on floor exercise. All 4 previous Sooner scores are 9-9 or better on the floor. They are building something special.
You'll start to see that the senior families are actually on the floor now. And Jordan's fiance is out there on the floor watching her final routine. Pretty special. Coach Kindler told me that Jordan found her own music, and she thinks that the mix that they put together is just brilliant. And she thinks that this is the best routine that Jordan has done. Opens up with a huge double fold-up punch front. I just love the way she does it. She's so intense. One more pass for Jordan. Huge double pike. Lands it pretty well. An emotional moment. Doesn't even break character. Beautiful leaps. Wow. And that is it for Jordan Bowers in the Lloyd Noble Center. What a fantastic routine.
Well, she was the NCAA runner-up on floor exercise last season. She's got the stuff to win an individual title on this rotation this year.
Here's that last pass again. Pay attention to the landing. Opens up right into a lunge. There's her fiance. So ecstatic for her, wearing her apparel with her name on it. Pretty cool.
While we have a moment, we want to send the best out to Lisa Kavanaugh, the longtime meet director for gymnastics at Oklahoma. Lisa, hope you get to feeling better, and we hope you are getting a chance to watch and enjoy the senior night coverage here. Here's Carly Bauman, final competitor in the regular lineup for the Wolverines.
Carly is beautiful on this event. Excellent back handspring layout. She's capable of putting up a big score for the Wolverines to close out their competition. Nice leap combination. Beautiful side summy. She actually does it with straight legs. Most gymnasts do it with bent legs. Just her dismount. Let's see if she finds the landing. This routine has been pretty perfect. Gainer pike off the beam and holds on for that stick. What a great finish to this beam rotation and a great finish for Carly tonight.
She's in the top 25 nationally on the beam, and she has given the Wolverines a chance to have a season high after that routine.
Here's that dismount again. Beautiful pike gainer. Really happy with that.
Oklahoma also with a shot at a season high if Faith Torres can close it out on the floor exercise.
Faith starts off with a huge double layout. It's just awesome. Makes it look so easy. She's the only Sooner that's gotten a perfect 10 so far this season, and it happened on this event. Coach Kindler told me that Faith found her music from a Latin house music, and that's where she finds her music every year. Her last pass now, front through to a double back. Great landing. Coach Kindler said that she has very intricate movements and every beat is accounted for, so pay attention to the little things. Wow, what a routine for Faith to close out this competition for the Sooners.
Is it another 10?
I don't want to jinx it.
Well, it's going to be a season high score for the Sooners. How high is it going to be? We'll find out once we get Faith Torres' score. Exhibition time now for the Wolverines. This is Peyton Davis with an exhibition on the beam. And you can hear the boos because a 10 was not awarded.
You know, I wasn't going to say anything, but
Michigan's score, 196.9, is above their season average. It is shy of their season high.
I will note on Faith's opening pass, I sensed a little movement on her feet, which you don't typically see, but it was so small. Jump to a switch half. This is good for Michigan to get people in the exhibition spot to gain experience. Great dismount, back handspring gainer full.
And the final competitor that we will see here tonight, an exhibition for the Sooners on floor exercise. The regular competition is done, and Kelsey Slade will exhibition here. So valuable for a freshman like this to get some time under the bright lights.
Yes, it is. I was watching her in warm-ups, and the way she dances is just so fun. Round off 1.5 to a front full. Nicely done. You never know if the Sooners will need her later in the season, so getting this experience is crucial. see Coach Kindler cheering her on in the corner. Just her last pass now. Double pike, gets that landing. Big smiles. Great exhibition spot for Kelsey Slade to close out this competition.
The Sooners go above their season average on floor exercise. In fact, they go above their season average on 3 rotations tonight. It leads to a season high score of 198.200. More than 1/10 better than their prior high of 198.075. So the Sooners, the #1 team in the country, looking strong. They'll close up the regular season at Georgia next week. Michigan will host Alabama next week. And what a senior night it has been. You take a look at the individual event winners tonight, and it couldn't have gone much better for Jordan Bowers. Jordan Bowers shares the bar title with her teammate tonight, it looks like, Audrey Davis at 9.975. Bowers wins the beam 9.975, and she wins the all-around as well. So it'll be 3 individual event wins for Jordan Bowers. That's a pretty good way to close on senior night, isn't it, Natalie?
Oh yeah, that's an excellent way to end. And I just have to say those senior performances today were outstanding.
They have made it 45 consecutive home wins at the Lloyd Noble Center for this senior class. And Jordan Bowers was front and center on her senior night.
Started off with that Yurchenko 1.5. Had a beautiful bar rotation, getting that stick.
Shared that with Audrey Davis tonight. Here's the beam.
Another stuck landing from her.
It was a 9.975 to win it, and then to close here on floor exercise.
Just a beautiful routine for her to close out her career.
And a bow, apropos for Jordan Bowers. Faith Torres wins the floor exercise tonight with a 9.975. Lily Peterson, the freshman, won the vault for Oklahoma with a 9.95. Oklahoma sweeps the individual events. And Jordan Bowers wins the all-around. Season-high all-around score as well for Jordan Bowers. She was 3rd nationally in the all-around coming into the night. In fact, I believe she and Faith Torres were tied in that #3 position, but she has a chance to move up a little bit after what she's done at the Lloyd Noble Center.
Oh yeah, and can you imagine if she would have just stuck her landing on vault, how high her all-around score would have been? Just incredible.
The Sooners close the home portion of the schedule with a season-high score. And Oklahoma is victorious on senior night at the Lloyd Noble Center over the Michigan Wolverines. For Natalie Walker, former Brown, I'm Chad McKee saying so long from the Lloyd Noble Center, where Oklahoma wins it on senior night. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN and the SEC.